In March of 2023, we saw tensions escalate as Chinese President Xi Jinping and President Vladimir Putin met in Moscow. This meeting sparked concern among the NATO alliance, fearing a potential new Cold War with a China-Russia-led bloc. In response, Europe and the United States pledged more weapons for Ukraine in its conflict against Russia. Ukraine received artillery shells from the European Union and $350 million worth of weapons from the Pentagon. As the conflict in eastern Ukraine escalated into an artillery battle resembling World War I, the US expedited the delivery of M1 Abrams tanks to Ukraine in preparation for a spring offensive. NATO allies also sent tanks to Ukraine, focusing on breaking Russian air supremacy. Ukraine and Poland advocated for additional fighter jets to further challenge Russian forces. Fast forward to December of the same year, where we saw US officials raise concerns about Chinese jets and warships engaging in close and risky encounters with US forces in the Western Pacific. Over 180 incidents of coercive behavior by Chinese forces since late 2021 were documented, which US officials believe is part of a deliberate campaign to alter US and allied activities in the region. Despite the risks of inadvertent conflict, China continued its confrontational approach to challenge the US-led international order. In response to these geopolitical shifts, US and European governments recognized the need to ramp up their arms production industries. In the early spring of 2022, the Biden administration met with defense industry leaders to discuss this very issue. However, the implementation of this idea has been slow and not as foresighted or bold as necessary. The United States, traditionally the principal power ensuring the security of the West, has not played its role in a bold and statesmanlike fashion over the past 2 years. This inertia is at the heart of the problem. The situation is further complicated by political disagreements within the US, slowing down the provision of aid to Ukraine. To summarize, the past 2 years have seen a dramatic shift in the global political landscape, with escalating conflicts and power plays. The meeting between Chinese President Xi Jinping and Russian President Vladimir Putin sparked concerns of a new Cold War. In response, NATO allies increased their military support for Ukraine. However, the US and Europe's slow response in ramping up arms production and the political gridlock in the US has hindered timely aid to Ukraine. Meanwhile, China continues to challenge the US-led international order through risky encounters with US forces in the Western Pacific. These events highlight the importance of swift and decisive action in the face of emerging threats to global security. The world continues to watch and wait as these situations unfold, wondering what the future holds in this
What if the world's biggest problems weren't just political, but criminal? Imagine an issue so complex, it blurs the lines of politics and organized crime. Today, we delve into a rather unique and concerning problem: the alleged ties between Russian intelligence and cybercrime gangs. Reports indicate an ongoing cyber operation targeting Russian and Ukrainian entities, with a focus on a group known as the TrickBot cyber gang. Recent leaks have exposed an intricate web of collaboration between the TrickBot and the Russian Federal Security Service. This sophisticated criminal organization, complete with HR systems and salaried employees, has been actively targeting Ukrainian entities, displaying a shift in tactics. But it's not just Ukraine. US government and affiliated organizations have reportedly been targeted too. Custom malware, aptly named Sido, designed for espionage and harvesting sensitive information, has been utilized. While the report does not directly link these activities to Russian President Putin or the Kremlin, it strongly implies government involvement in these cybercriminal activities. This problem is not just political. It's a problem of organized crime, of poisoners and assassins, of puppeteers pulling the strings from behind the scenes. At the center of this web is a leader, not just of a country, but of an organized criminal gang. Putin stands accused of being this leader. So how do we combat this issue? The solution lies not in another resolution or set of sanctions, but in innovation. We must apply the methods of fighting organized crime, not political competition. This includes investigations into financial machinations, targeting the discreet lawyers and financiers who are allegedly helping Putin and his associates to hide money. In this fight, we have reliable allies. Tens of millions of Russians are against war, against Putin. against the evil he allegedly brings. We must not persecute them. Instead, we must work with them. Putin must answer for what he has done to his country, to neighboring countries, and to individuals who stand against him. To summarize, we are dealing with an issue that transcends traditional politics.